Hello, everybody. I almost fell over. Welcome to this New Year's Eve special of Find Out What's in Pelenta's Forrest. So grab yourself a glass of water or a cup of tea and spend the next few minutes with me. But don't believe everything you hear and check your facts, do your own research. What that means is we are going to go through every single month of the year. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Don't you want to know what my butterflies are saying? I think you do. Don't you want to know what my butterflies are talking? This is your Happy New Year's Eve. And find out what's in my forest. Hey everybody, what's up? Like my duds, I had to get all fancy for you because it is New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve. And I got news to share with you. And it's all about 2016. Man. Woo. Hey everybody, how you doing? What's shaking? What's crack-a-lacking? What is going on? How was your Christmas? Did you travel? Did you leave the state? Did you get lots of presents? Did you give and receive? Did you give more? Did you receive more? I don't know what you did, but whatever you did, I hope it was fabulous and merry. So what we're going to do right now, we are going to go through the entire year of 2016 and talk a little bit about things that happened, things that didn't happen. So we're going to start off with January. January, landmark Iran nuclear deal went into effect. Iran's sanctions were lifted by the U.S. and the European nations. Taiwan elected their first female president. And as far as tennis goes, Djokovic Kerber won the Australian Open. And we've lost a couple of people that month as well. Abe Vigoda was 94. You remember him from, gosh, it was either Fish or Barney Miller. I can't remember which one. But Renee Angelil, which was Celine Dion's husband. We also lost David Bowie at age 69. And Glenn Frey also passed. He was 67. In February, NASA confirmed global warming. A 6.4 magnitude earthquake hit Taiwan, and Einstein's century-old theory of relativity is proven to be true. Scientists announced that they have heard and recorded an audio of two black holes colliding. And supposedly, they collided into each other a billion light years from Earth. But it is the first evidence of gravitational waves completing the final piece of Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity. It proves the most unpopular part of Einstein's theory, that within the universe, space and time are connected and changeable. And unfortunately, that month, we lost Maurice White from Earth, Wind, and Fire. He was 74 years old. 74 years old. Move on to March. Donald Trump wins the big Super Tuesday primary election. He won big. The United Nations imposed sanctions on North Korea, and former president of Brazil, Luiz Inácio, was taken into custody for questioning in a broad corruption investigation. U.S.-led airstrikes killed more than 100 militants in Somalia. Russia announced it has largely withdrawn from Syria. And that month of March, we lost Patty Duke-Austin. She was 69. And Nancy Reagan also passed away at 94. Moving on to April. The U.S. Secretary of State, John Kerry, makes a diplomatic visit to Hiroshima. Syria holds preliminary elections in the midst of civil war, and Pope Francis visits refugees in Greece as the EU implements deportations to Turkey. Brazil's President Dilma Rousseff was also impeached. Pro wrestler Chyna passed away. She was age 46. Also in April, we lost Prince. He was 57. Doris Roberts passed away. She was 90. And Merle Haggard also passed away. He was 79. Now listen at this. This is incredible. And if you don't believe me, check your facts and do your own research. Merle Haggard was born on April 6, 1937. He died on April 6, 2016. Moving on to May, Ted Cruz suspends his campaign to be the Republican presidential nominee, and an Indian fertility clinic announced that a 70-year-old woman has successfully given birth to a baby boy. And you may also remember Egypt Air Flight MS-804 goes missing over the Mediterranean en route Paris to Cairo. Also in the news, Mullah Akhtar Muhammad Mansour, leader of the Afghan Taliban, is reportedly killed by a U.S. drone in Pakistan. And that month, we lost Alan Young. Some of you may not know, but he was the voice of Mr. Ed and Scrooge McDuck. He was 96 years old. And we also lost Fidel Castro. Moving on to June, U.S. military soldiers participated in a military exercise during an opening ceremony in Warsaw, Poland. This was the biggest exercise ever known as the Anaconda 16, involving over 31,000 troops. Also in the news, terror strikes in France. Before the lighting of the Eiffel Tower, officers were murdered. This was in France. Terror strikes in France right before the lighting of the Eiffel Tower. And ISIS proudly claimed responsibility for that tragedy. And in more news, a 37-year-old lawyer by the name of Virginia Raggi is elected Rome's first woman mayor. The Zika virus was scaring athletes away from the Olympic Games. There was a ceasefire in Colombia that ended a long and costly war. And Kimbo Slice, you guys remember him, he passed away. He's 42 years old. Anton Yelchin from Star Trek. And there was another movie that he played, and I think it was The Underdog, or it was some movie with Justin Timberlake. And it was, what's her name? Sharon Stone. And these boys took him out and killed him for fun or something like that. But that was a good movie. He was a very good actor. Sad loss. Also, we lost Muhammad Ali in June. He was 74 years old. Moving on to July, ISIS attacks France again. And this time, they killed a priest. Oscar Pistorius, also known as the Blade Runner, is sentenced in the murder case. You may remember he claimed that his girlfriend, he thought she was an intruder, and proceeded to shoot her several times, beyond how many times you should shoot somebody before they're dead. But anyway, international court rebukes China, and Henrik Stenson wins the British Open. And in case any of you are Superman fans, we also lost the original Lois Lane, Noelle Neal, and she was 75 years old. And let's see, some crazy things that happened. We had Pokemon. Remember Pokemon? People were chasing that Pokemon, running off of cliffs and killing each other. And then we had the gorilla at the zoo, dragged the baby. We killed the gorilla. Parents never get prosecuted or anything as far as I know, but I didn't even want to get too wrapped up in that story. It was ridiculous how the whole thing went down. Of course, I wasn't there, but to me it just seemed a little, it was too much. And then you had the next tragedy little boy got eaten by alligators. So this year we successfully killed innocent animals like gorillas and crocodiles because us humans were places that we weren't supposed to be. In August, the CDC issued a Zika warning. The U.S. launched airstrikes against ISIS in Libya. We also had the first U.S. Zika death, and a federal judge rejected Obama's transgender bathroom regulation. And you know, we have not heard the last of that yet, because I just talked about it a couple of weeks ago where people are still fighting for transgender rights. I was out in public the other day and went in to use the ladies' restroom, and I'm not kidding. I saw what I believe to be a man washing his hands at the sink. For a split second, I thought innocently that I was in the wrong bathroom because I'm a woman, I was born a woman. I looked at him or her or whoever, I looked at them funny, and they looked at me like I was crazy. So, I don't know, maybe we were both having the same idea. Maybe he actually was a man and thought he was in the men's bathroom and thought I was crazy, and what was my problem? Anyway, who knows? But in August, we lost our funny man, Gene Wilder. Of course, you all remember Gene Wilder. Unfortunately, we lost him as well. Moving on to September, we had a train that derailed in northern Spain. Massive flooding caused destruction in North Korea. A man with a rifle shot 3 people at a mall for no apparent reason. And people actually thought the US dollar was going to collapse. That month, which is September, we lost former Israeli President Shimon Peres. He was 93. We also said goodbye to Arnold Palmer. He was 87. In October, while Kim Kardashian slept in her bed, naked and innocent, several armed men kicked in her hotel room or her house door, whatever it was, but they kicked it in, dragged her out of bed butt naked, tied her up, and taped her mouth in a bathtub. They stole her beautiful jewelry that she posted on either Snapchat and flaunted on Instagram for the entire world to see. Now, this situation was just weird all the way around. Now, a lot of people got on Kim Kardashian because, and I just said it, she was flaunting her jewelry, flaunting, showing whatever terminology that you want to use. But, you know, people show stuff on Facebook all the time and Instagram and whatnot. I mean, I'm glad that she's okay, and please do not take this out of context. But considering who she is, I thought it was awfully strange that there was no rape, no groping, no inappropriate touching, no nasty pictures taken of her, no ransom, nothing. It just, well, no ransom, they didn't kidnap her. But I'm just saying, I'm not wishing any of those things happened to her. But it just seems awfully odd. As big as she is, nobody wanted to take a picture or nothing. That was just crazy. And the world was also supposed to end this year on Halloween. There was a 6.6 magnitude quake that was felt in Rome, and an entire top of a cathedral collapsed. I watched the videos, and let me tell you, those nuns were booking. They were getting the heck out of there. And also, Pete Burns, you might not know who Pete Burns is, but Pete Burns was a British band pop star, Dead or Alive. That was the name of the band. He died October 23rd, actually, of this year from a heart attack. He was 57. And you know what? I find it awfully odd how everybody is dying from a heart failure and heart attacks and everything. I mean, it makes me want to get really, really educated on the heart, because that is the most important muscle, you know, in our body. Our heart is pumping. And people are dropping like flies with heart disease and heart attacks and heart failure. It's just unbelievable. Moving on to November. NASA confirms that Earth will experience 15 days of darkness this November. That was this November, last month that just passed. And you know, 15 days of darkness, you know, that's interesting, because they must have taken that 15 from the 132.1 days of darkness that we already have, okay? Moving right along. November of 2016 ranks the 5th warmest on record. And We had a Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade because it was Thanksgiving. Samsung Galaxy Notebook 4 gets a security update from T-Mobile. Why that was news, I don't know. But also, you know, Samsung had a very exciting year. It was 4th of July at any moment for Samsung because their appliances were popping, snapping, and exploding all over the place. The phones exploding, the washers, the dryers. Samsung had a pretty crazy year. And let me see. Oh, and this is another thing too that caught my eye. On the cover of the Atlantic magazine, it shows a bird, and this is the November issue of Atlantic magazine. It shows a bird on the cover, and it looks like Twitter, obviously, and it has a grenade on its back. And you know what the headline says? It says, "How social media got weaponized." Also, in November, Donald Trump is now our president. He has surpassed everything else, so he will be sworn in January. But yes, Donald Trump is our president. And let's see, November, we lost Florence Henderson, the Brady Bunch. She was 82. We also lost Ron Glass, Barney Miller. He had heart issues when he passed. Florence Henderson had heart issues when she passed. They both passed on the same day, Thanksgiving. Very sad. So goodbye to them. Moving on to December. Well, now we have CERN. The Alpha experiment observes the light spectrum of antimatter. And Donald Trump's upset victory over Hillary Clinton has taken our country on the roller coaster ride of its life. After all the hate and the anger and protest, and you all tearing up stuff, burning down stuff, acting a fool, once again, Donald Trump, along with Mike Pence, has prevailed. You know, have you ever put, because I was listening to someone talking the other day, and they kept saying, Trump, Pence, trumpets. I was like, wait a minute. Trumpets? That sounds like trumpets. Trump and Pence, trumpets? But anyway, this is just a friendly suggestion to everybody. You know, no matter what kind of game you're playing, someone is going to lose. There's never going to be two winners. You know, someone's always going to lose. Now it's time to pull up your pants, people. Spit out the pacifier and fix your belt. Fix your clothes. You are a grown-up. So please start acting like it. Stop putting bad mojo on Donald Trump and pray for his success. Because if he is successful, it benefits all of us. If he is not successful, it doesn't benefit anybody. So let's pray for this man to be successful for the good of all of us. And then also getting back to CERN and this Mandela effect, also known as the Hadron Collider. A few months ago, a weasel got in there and caused significant damage, and they had to shut down for a bit. So, do you ever wonder, what is CERN? What are they doing? And what are they trying to awake if they haven't awakened something already? And you know what? I have a question for you before I get out of here. Do you have a Fitbit, Mr. and Mrs. Good Citizen? Because it can probably tell you what your CERN is doing. I double dog dare you. Tie your Fitbit to your hamster or your cat and see how long it takes the paramedics to show up at your house. What'd you say? Really? Okay. I double dog dare you. Do you remember the computer Agnes? Remember Agnes? I know y'all remember Agnes. Well, Agnes has changed her name to Alexa. All right? Okay. Unfortunately, December, we said goodbye to Zsa Zsa Gabor. She was 99. We lost Alan Thicke. He was 69 years old. George Michael was 53. John Glenn was 95. John Mascolo was 87. He was Stefano from Days of Our Lives. And we also lost Carrie Fisher and Debbie Reynolds. And we also lost comedian Richard Harris. Richard Harris. It's very, very, very sad. So we like to bid farewell to those people. And before we get out of here, At the end of the year, everybody always sings that song, Auld Lang Syne. Do you ever wonder what that means? Well, I'm going to give you a little bit of Auld Lang Syne history here. Okay. Now, the Scots poem was written by Robert Burns in 1788, and it was set to the tune of a traditional folk song, round #6294. It is well known in many countries, especially in the English-speaking world. Its tradition is used to bid farewell to the old year at the stroke of midnight. By extension, it is also sung at funerals, graduations, and as a farewell or ending to other occasions. The International Boy Scout movement in many countries uses it to close jamborees and other functions. It's not just for the new year, you know? So the songs that Scots titled may be translated into standard English as Old Long Since, or more idiomatically, long, long ago, days gone, or old times. But these are the actual words. Oh, no, wait, let me tell you a little bit more history. Robert Burns sent a copy of the original song to the Scots Musical Museum with the remark, the following song, an old song of the olden times, and which has never been in print, nor even in manuscript until I took it down from an old man. Some of the lyrics were indeed collected rather than composed by the poet. The ballad Old Long Syne, printed in 1711 by James Watson, shows considerable similarity in the first verse and the chorus to Burns' later poem, and it almost certainly derived from the same old song. Now, the original chorus goes like this. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never thought upon, the flames of love extinguished and fully past and gone, is thy sweetheart now grown so cold, that loving breast of thine, that thou canst never once reflect on old lang syne. So that is your New Year's Eve celebration. And I'm going to play a special song for you getting on out of here. So let's get to this one here, because as usual, I am so very, very grateful for everything. I'm even more grateful for you. Here's a couple of little things here that you can remember me by. That is I wear my heart, not my clothes. Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter. No love, no peace, no kindness, and no acceptance. And last but not least, last year I broke the internet with milk and cookies. Yes, that is your girl being herself, acting like a fool. I love you all. So I'm going to leave you with, let's turn that off. This is a old tune. I'm going to leave you with this. This is Auld Lang Syne. And Happy New Year, everybody. God bless you all. My book is available everywhere. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Super duper merry, merry, happy Christmas to all of you. Merry, happy New Year. God bless you all. I am great because you're great. I have to say a little bit of a sweet goodbye to some people here. Don't want to forget anybody this time. Mountie, 840, Key, Freddie Bricks, Betty Crocker, Smoked Out Tutorial, Cyclops, Lona Morrison, Red Pill, Timekeeper, Keno Green, The Stone Farmer, Sparks a Lot, C.M. Conley. Love you all. Thanks for being a part of my life. You mean everything to me. Have a safe and wonderful New Year. God bless you. Can you see us? Here we go again. Happy New Year, everybody, from Pelenta and Cindy. We love you. Be safe, be happy, and be kind to everybody. Good girl. Let's go.